Hello, everybody. I am Sun Psychic Jean, and please welcome Spirit Whisperer Mark. Hello, Mark. How are you?
Hi, I'm good, Jean. How are you, sweetie pie? Hi, everybody.
Yeah, so nice to see
Monthly,
everybody.
our
Thank you
monthly.
all for being here. And we love our Saturdays together, Mark and I, and it's fun because everybody there seems to be a lot of different people on Saturdays. You just get somebody new all the time,
Right.
and that's what's exciting. So, what's happening over on your channel, Mark? What's new in your
Oh,
spiritual realm?
good, Hannah. Well, about same thing. I always do my two regular shows on Mondays and on Saturdays. Mondays is animal focus, and Saturdays is anything. And then, of course, I do once a month with you at least on here, and I do a couple of days with Allie. That's regular, and I keep I do my regular um, taped kind of political readings. I try to do at least once a week, but I've been having a little bit of outside interference, which has been screwing with my schedule and stuff a little bit. But I still do that. I finally got one up this week, which I know people wanted because it got like 11,000 views,
Wow.
up from like 1,000 to 11,000. So people just want, they're just, need it. So I'm trying to keep up with that. And on that topic, I'm I'm getting it all scheduled and arranged that I'm going to do just a political live, which I haven't done, but with my friend and mentor, Terry. So we're going to do that together on a Sunday. Probably it's going to be next Sunday, after a week from tomorrow. We just haven't got it all finalized, but that'll be fun because people have been wanting me to do just political, for the focus. And so we're going to do that and see how that goes. So I'm a little excited about that.
Well, that's lovely.
Yep.
That's lovely. I love to see her come back again. And she's the one who does channel Pam, but she doesn't, she's a psychic and a medium, and
Yep.
she channels Pam. Like
Well,
it's
she
all of them.
channels Dwal Cool.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And
No,
she's been a
okay,
Dwal
my
Cool channel
mistake.
forever. She's the one that taught me to channel and introduced me to Dwal and all that stuff. I've known her, 40 years, and I love her to pieces. And we've both been plugging along doing that. She's, been she's a voice channel for Dwal Cool. They are really good with alternative healing and that kind of thing,
Mm.
homeopathy and herbs and stuff. She gets a lot of information about that. So I love her to death. I'm so excited that we have this opportunity to kind of work together after all these years and that she's open to do it, because she travels in a RV. Um, that's what she did after she retired. She kind of just got her RV, her pets, and she travels around. She'll spend some months in the winter here, and then she'll go there and stuff like that. So I'm glad
Wow, good for
she's
her.
doing this at the same time. Mm-hmm. So that's all that's happening. I know you have another show today, right?
Yes, I'll be on later for with Sherry Voices from the Swamp, and she's hosting. And I'm telling you, I was on Terry Holding Your Space last Tuesday, and she was hosting, and I just let go and relaxed. I didn't read the chat. I waited for her to choose the questions to read the chat. Never. I was like, I felt like I was being pampered. It
Oh,
is
it's
such
so
a
good.
it's such a luxury having somebody host for you. And then I was on Marina's channel and she was hosting, and it really is very relaxing and enjoyable. Not that I don't love but going back and forth and trying, it's like you're under a little bit more of a pressure.
Yep.
Where if you're not driving and you're not hosting, it's much more relaxing.
I love it because every other week, Debbie and I alternate who hosts,
Yes.
and then on my alternate, I'm just so relaxed. So, oh boy, I get to ride shotgun today, which means you got to handle all the road signs, all the stuff, and I'll just go, "What's next?" She kind of
Yeah,
wants to slap me, but then she does that same thing on my day. It's like, oh, good. It is a relaxing thing because
it
some of the
is.
hardest part is trying to manage the questions and pick them and try to stay fair and all that stuff. It's a lot, and read.
Yep. Yep.
Because you have
Yep.
to go back and forth between, you know, the zone and out of the in the zone and out of all that. It's quite a bit to balance.
Yeah. Um, it's mental gymnastics. So I have a little surprise for you, Mark, that I just noticed. I did a reading for a donkey, and it's for Carolyn Cooper a couple weeks ago with Terry Suzuki.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to share this with everybody just because she sent me a picture. And this is the donkey. This is Buck Wild. And I read for this donkey, and this
Oh,
donkey came in and told me how much he loved Carolyn. And she said, "This is Buck Wild looking at himself in the window. He can see himself." And she said he was attacked by a bunch of coyotes
oh
and
no.
had his ears, mangled and destroyed. So they had to. He's a rescue. But when I was thinking donkey, I don't know. I think I was picturing a mule. So I'm so glad that she sent me this because a donkey and a mule. But this is such a cute, fuzzy,
Yeah,
lovable donkey.
yeah.
And Buck Wild told me he said that he loved Carolyn because she would laugh at him and not holler at him when he got into things or misbehaved. She would laugh, and he's like, "She's not angry at me." And then he said, she showed me affection. Like she hugged him, she would kiss at him. Come on over, and she would love and rub on him. And he said, the affection, nobody showed me affection where he was before. He was just a donkey, And when Carolyn showed him affection, he said he felt like he was home. I
Oh,
I am so in love with this donkey, Carolyn.
well,
Thank you
can I
so
just tell
much.
you in general that donkeys are big old love bugs. I had a donkey at the zoo for years that I always took to parties and things, and her name was Odie, and I loved her so much. They're just such hug-a-bear animals, and they're very different than a mule. You know, the mule has the big old ears, and they're more the size of a horse, and
Yeah.
a donkey's smaller. This one almost looks like it might be part miniature donkey
Oh.
because he's a little bit stocky and short. That's kind of
Uh,
like the one I had, but that donkey that I were just stole my heart away completely. And I could see that little donkey saying all that to you, uh, that nobody gave him love and attention. I used to say if I retired and was able to get a farm, the first thing I would get would be a donkey
wow.
because they're just the cutest things ever. I love them to pieces.
Wow. I mean, he's just so fuzzy, so cute. Now he's on the other side right now, but actually, oh, okay. Yeah, he's on the other side right
Oh,
now. But thank you to Carolyn for, rescuing Buck Wild and for
wow.
sharing him with me. And he's on my desktop. That's why I was sitting here. I'm like, oh, I have that picture. I
Yeah.
want to show Mark because
And
you know what it feels like when you're connecting
yeah.
to
Oh, yeah.
animals.
And donkeys can be, yes, they're very intelligent. They can also be, you've heard that stubborn as a donkey or stubborn as a mule kind of thing. They can do that too. Like Odie, she really bonded with me and she loved me a lot. And occasionally, like we used to take a horse and a donkey together to parties. The donkey's name was Risha, but Odie was mine. So, and she wanted it that way. So sometimes if my partner couldn't go with the horse, I would need to take the horse because the horse was a lot more rambunctious and stuff. Um, but we could never find an alternate for Odie because she'd go, well, I'm not going. If Mark's not taking me, I'm not going. And I would give the lead to somebody, and Odie would just go, put her foot into the ground, and just, you couldn't budge her with dynamite. She would just be so stiff. And then go, I'm not. Then I go, I just take the lead, and then she immediately go, okay, here we go. She
Oh
would just
my
be so
gosh.
stubborn. Of course, I always thought it was very cute, and I loved her for it because she
Yeah.
was like, only Mark is allowed to walk me.
Because she
None of
knew
you.
you could hear her or understand her
I
on a
know, it's so
spiritual
cute.
level. And Carolyn says donkeys are very intelligent.
They are
Hmm.
very intelligent, very smart.
Yeah, they knew when you didn't laugh at them. I mean, you were laughing instead of hollering at them.
Yeah,
Like if they knocked something over or got into something, or you would laugh and not like be mean or mad. I mean,
right.
that there's just such it's just I'm telling you, Buck Wild has been in my heart, and just
Well,
I
animals know
love
the
telling this
difference
story.
between
Mhm.
people who recognize who they truly are and people who don't. They know that difference, and that makes a big difference the way they, react with you.
You're right. So many people don't see the animals and treat them as objects. Isn't that terrible? The
It's just like,
spirit.
yep, that's true. That
Yep.
slight little difference there makes a world of difference. And the animals realize it. They know the difference between a human who has that awareness and one that doesn't. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Oh, and they're better than guard dogs. Oh my gosh.
Yep. Some people use them like for that.
I need to have a talk with my husband.
They're pretty, because they're headstrong and stuff. But they couldn't be cuter. And plus, they're fuzzy, like they're a little bit fuzzier than a horse. Their fur is a little more snuggly. But anyway, I love that you got to read a donkey. That's so cute.
Yeah, it was a beautiful experience. So let's go ahead and get started. I see Jen 56 is first. And Carolyn, I do see that you have a question there. Could you add something a little more specific about, you said spiritual reading, but is it regarding your job, regarding whatever? Like, just let us know. And I do want to ask everybody if you could be a little more specific. Just it helps us to really give the best reading and ask the spirit guides for something specifically. There's so much more magic that comes through. So we'd like to give that opportunity to you. So Jen 56, hi Jen. She says, I feel like there's something wonderful going to happen, but not sure what it is. What's coming my way? Thank you.
So you feel something wonderful is coming to you, right? That's what you're thinking, but I'm not sure what it is. What's coming that way? Thank you.
Thanks, Carolyn. I have it. So, do you mind if I jump in, Mark?
Yeah, go ahead, sweetie. I'm always.
Jen, I'm feeling like there's a manifestation that you're open to. I do feel the Lionsgate portal that just passed, and I feel as though you may have received either downloads or like codes to open up your awareness. And your awareness, like it's like your spirit inside. It's not really your ego mind or your analytical mind that knows. It's like your spirit. You feel it inside. It's not logical. It just is a feeling. And I feel like this is your spirit's vibration, your soul's vibration, sort of, you know, uh, being joyful and being able to express itself. I do feel like there's some sort of a growth or some sort of a elevation that you are attuned to. And I feel like it's quite energetic and spiritual. I don't feel it's monetary um, or material. I don't feel like you're going to win the lottery or anything. I feel like it's more of a spiritual awareness and enlightenment and um, truth. How about you, Mark?
Well, I got right off the bat that the cards agree that it does feel like there's good energy coming your way. And they're telling me that with this page of wands. So wands is spirit body. And so it's an offer, it's a return flow, it's kind of like an answer to a prayer or a focus or meditation, but an answer coming your way. Now, I did also get right with it the Page of Pentacles, which would make me think it's a little more than just esoteric, like it affects you in your practical life in some way. There's some kind of It's sort of like when spirit comes together with physical form. It's like that partnership. We use our spirit to co-create what we want and need. It's something about that, like how that comes together for you, and you receive what you're looking for, kind of. I also get the Hermit, so it makes me think you've been meditating on it or thinking about it or looking into growth of some sort. So it feels like you're going to experience moving into another level of what it means to have a partnership with your spiritual part. You are your spirit, and having this spiritual partnership, which I'm thinking maybe you've been, to my angels is a new friendship roadship, right? That you've been asking for that, and so this looks like, yep, and we've heard you, and this is what's coming in. Yeah, it may have to do with that, because I do feel like it's something you've been thinking about, meditating on, asking. This is that Hermit card. But a lot of times for me, that's we go within to speak and talk, and to make a positive change. So it started out with that Page of Wands, and then it ends with the Knight of Wands. So that feels like that's what you're sensing. I have a feeling something. You can kind of sense this knight coming in with an answer. Okay, I hope that made sense.
Yeah. And I did feel like it was something that she manifested. So very interesting. And, it's not that we ask for something and it's given to us. It's that we match the frequency and the vibration and allow for this to be in our energy to be matching that energy. So it's up to us to make the decision and to take action in order for this reality to come to fruition. It's not going to happen just sitting home waiting, not always, sometimes.
And sometimes you have to just work on releasing belief systems and stuff that would stop you from having what you want. Sometimes that's what you have to let go of. I'm not worthy of good. I can't have the things I want, those kinds of things. So you have to work on releasing that in order to have the things that are right there for you. So, that's kind of manifesting is convincing yourself that it's okay for you to have the things you want, because sometimes people don't believe they can, So I noticed that for me, I'll receive more things practical in the world, and it comes from me just clearing out my mind about what I can have and what I can't have, who I am and who I'm not, that kind of thing. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. I don't think, I see that you say, is it possible to ask too often? It's being grateful every day. I am so grateful for the road trips and the friendships that I have. I am so grateful for the beautiful friends and the wonderful adventures. And this is what you want to do, is match that gratitude and not be, because when you ask, it's in the wanting vibration. You want to be in the grateful vibration. So it's I would used to say, thank you for my brand new beautiful car in my driveway. I had a little junker out there, and you just thank them for the allowing this the energy of what it is that you believe is in your highest good, and I always used to say thank you for my new favorite job, where I'm very much appreciated. And I didn't have that kind of a job. I was miserable. I was looking. But yeah, the power of gratitude is really, it changes you from a victim to being in control and changing your vibration to match what it is that you are in search of.
Right. And like when you ask for the same thing over and over and over again, it comes from a belief that they didn't hear you the first time, kind of a thing. So, ask for what you want, ask and you receive. So you ask, they heard you, It's work. They're working on it. So, like what Jean said, a better attitude is to be just be in gratitude. Thank you for listening to my prayer and for working with me. I appreciate it so much today. I'm very grateful to have the spirit team working on the things I want. And I appreciate you answering my prayer. Even though out in the parking lot, I have an old junker. But I've asked this. This is what we're moving for. Because it's a lot about faith, guys. I know that's a weird thing. Um, Faith, gratitude, trust that it's a real thing. And so that's the only reason why I would say, well, don't ask over and over and over, especially if you're desperate. You don't want to get into please, begging and all that, because that comes from a lack of faith rather than just ask, be grateful, and move on and see what happens. Things will change for you. Usually the universe will just give you something to take action on. Like maybe, like with Jean, she might just hear somebody say, oh, I have this car. I've been really trying to sell it. And for Jean's mind, it might be just perfect for her. And, maybe it's not brand new, but it's all the things she wants. And then the universe just made her hear that so that she could connect with it. That kind of thing, Anyway.
Yep. Thank you very, very much, everybody. Thank you, Jen. I think this was really important. I think a lot of people needed to hear this information and this perspective.
Yep.
I think it was very helpful for a lot of people.
I do too.
Thank you, Jen 56. And Carolyn, this is Carolyn's first part. She wants to have a spiritual reading, and I asked her to be specific. And she wants to know, am I on the right path with my spiritual healing? Okay. So about her spiritual healing. Is she on the right path?
Yeah, and just in general, the more specific you are with the question, the more specific the guides are with the answers. That's just reason why we kind of push for you to be a little more, be as specific as you feel, because it does make a difference. Okay, on your path to spiritual healing. Let's see.
So I kind of feel like you're remembering, Carolyn. I feel like you've always been a spiritual healer in past lives. And I feel like you're allowing for this energy to come through your soul's vibration, your soul's expression. And I feel like it's always been around you. It's always been something that you sought out, something that you were interested in, something that you did naturally, something that you believed in. And you would I feel as though it's almost like an inevitability, like you're coming into your own, and you are embracing your full aspect, your full vibration, your full integrating every part, every aspect of your soul together. I feel like it's a natural sort of, what would I like to say? It's a natural evolution, it's a natural expression, and it doesn't have to be like a shingle that you hang out. It doesn't have to it's quite personal, and it's going to be like word of mouth is what I feel. And I do feel as though there's some progression in your techniques, that you're going to learn new techniques, and you're going to learn, I feel like it's a little bit more in the vibration, maybe light and vibration. Not energy and intention, yes, but working with light and vibration, like sound vibration. And those not LED lights, but something that looks like that, like light healing and frequency. It's going to progress. I do feel as though you're sort of like, am I going to do the scalar technology or am I going to do the Reiki? Don't worry about like what it is or what it's called. Continue moving and learning and adopting some things that you'll use from Reiki, some things that you'll use from scalars, some things that you'll use with the, you know, like the prayers or the things that you recite during your healing, and it's going to be something that you sort of develop organically. How about you, Mark?
Um, well, your question, am I on the right path with my spiritual healing? The cards say, yes, you are. You're right where you're supposed to be. So first of all, I get the Wheel of Fortune. So you're riding the wheel. You're right on the wheel. Now, that spiritual path and that little Ferris wheel of fun, look he's having a good time. Uh, you know, there's a natural ebb and flow. The Ferris wheel goes up, the Ferris wheel comes down. It goes up and down. So don't, because it's a downtime, don't think it's that you're not working. It goes like that. It's ebb and flow. You, even if you're at that point where you receive downloads, maybe, or telepathic communication, you receive that, and then you might not receive any for a while because you've got to integrate that and bring it in and step back a little bit. So that's a natural ebb and flow. Don't think that means we stopped. So that is just the perfect card too. Am I on my right path? Yeah, you are. There you are, and you're having a good time most of the time. Also, it's saying that the work you've been doing is paying off. So here's the Eight of Pentacles. Your study, your focus, what you've already done is leading to this. And so you're on the right path. And also, I feel like you're going through a time now. We talked about it a little while ago, but looking at things from a different perspective. That's one of the things that happens when you begin to work with spirit, is that you look at things that seem completely negative and you try to look at it in a way, is there any positive thing that comes from this? You tend to change your perspective or just the way you look at things. You look for God in things instead of looking for the devil and things, kind of a thing. I know that's simplistic, but so another way of saying that is starting to go into a glass half full rather than a glass half empty. And I feel like you've been doing that. So all that story came out of this Five of Cups. You could say, oh, look, these cups are all spilled and empty. Or you could say, well, they're still half full. They're just tipped. They're not empty. I can look at it differently. And plus, I still have these nice big fat full ones right here. So that just makes me think part of your healing is about that perspective. Now, am I on the right path? If that little wheel, here you are, little fool, on your new spiritual path. And yep. So there you go. And it's the path to Queen of Pentacles, success, mastering the world by realizing who you are to begin with, spirit, right? So yes, I don't know if you had physical healing as well. I feel like you might have. But even with physical healing, it's good to focus in on your spiritual relationship, because the stronger that is, the more everything else works out. Spirit, physical, mental, emotional, it all gets better. Yeah.
Thank you, Mark. And thank you, Carolyn. I was just choosing who would be next. I see Constance Campbell. Just please say hello. Let me just see if Carolyn had some feedback here. So let us know if that resonated there, Miss Carolyn. Thank you very much for your question.
She is, and it does. Yep.
Yes, I'm feeling so much more positive. I'm feeling my spirit team around me more. Thank you both so very much. Aw, yep. You're welcome, Carolyn.
That's that positive thing. You do begin to feel more positive. Yay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It heals the healer too. It's one thing that was not surprising, but what brought me joy when we do Reiki or energy healing, even if you're just leading a group doing the shock bouncing chakras, the benefit comes through you and you get the benefit and you feel so much better. It's a win-win. And everybody, it's it's important for everybody to practice, I think, for sure.
Yep.
We should all be helping each other out every day, I think. Why not? Everything's in numbers. It takes a village, you guys. So, Constance is here. Thank you, Constance. And then after Constance is Andrea Berkmeyer. So, Andrea, just say hello. All right. So, Constance says, how will my attempt at selling a few items on Facebook go? Success quickly? Thank you for your question, Constance.
Yes, Constance.
And Andrea Berkmeyer, just say hello. Let me know you're still here. How will so I think it's a good thing for you to do. I think that you may be a little disillusioned with how easy it might be. It's not as easy as you think. There may be some like you. It's not like you're going to be making a mint. You may make a few dollars on certain items and a few more dollars on other items. But I do see you sort of getting into a rhythm and getting into a knack and understanding, okay, if I put this like this and I say this and then I'm a little flexible and I say or best offer, like there's ways that you learn on the job. So I would do it right away, but don't be disheartened or discouraged when certain things don't go as you expected. It's important to be open to learning on the job, and you'll be able to find your niche and find your knack and know, oh, this is how they do it. Oh, people who say, do you still have it? They're not really interested. Like it's a little bit of a nuance thing that you kind of have to get. It's just not as easy as popping something up and making a bunch of money, but it is possible to refine and get in tune, and then start making more money, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
How about you, Mark?
I agree. Well, I think you should do it. And I think you will sell things, but it probably won't go the way you think. So if you might sell something you thought, well, I doubt that this will sell, and that'll be the first thing that sells or something. And something you think would really be a big seller, it might take a while longer. The reason is you have to match up the person with the item, and sometimes it just takes a while for them to get there. But it's a great place to recycle, to move things along that you don't no longer have use for, but somebody else would really enjoy it. Since I retired and moved to Kentucky, I opened up a little booth at the local peddlers mall. And so I do that kind of thing. And, at the beginning they said, well, you use Facebook. And I thought about that, but then you have to come to your house and get some, I don't know. It just seemed like it was going to be more. And plus I was lucky that we had this little peddlers mall place and I could open a booth there. And I've been doing it for a couple of years now. And sometimes I'll just sell a lot of stuff, and sometimes not so much. So it goes up and down. And it's so funny because I think this is the psychic thing. I'll be home thinking, I'll just be thinking of an item I have in there, and I was thinking, well, it's been in there a long time. No one's ever looked at it. I don't think that's ever going to sell. And then the next day it sells. That's sort of a psychic thing. I don't know. I think I'm picking up on it because it's happened over and over where I thought about an item that I think, I guess that's not going to sell. And then the very next day it sells. So it goes like that. And it'll be like something you think won't, but there'll be somebody that's really into it. So it's up and down. But I think it's a great thing to get into and see. And like Jean said, you get better at it as you get into it a little bit more. You know, I begin to like not only sell it because I have a lot of stuff from my relatives who all passed away, and I didn't want to throw. I gave a lot away. I threw a lot away, but there's some stuff I didn't want to, so I've been putting it in there to sell, just to pass it along. I don't try to, buy a new house from the money or anything. My goal is just I'd like to pass stuff along, and as long as I can make some profit, it's okay, because I have to rent the booth and all that stuff. But I've enjoyed it, and I think it's a good thing to do. It's a good way to help downsize, and because you guys might be feeling this. There's this feeling of let's declutter and get rid of stuff and clear up energy, so it's not so chaotic in the house and stuff like that. Which, of course, easier said than done. But go for it, Constance.
Already frustrated with some aspects of listing, but I'll keep trying. Yeah, you'll get there. Just don't get discouraged when you're learning on the job, so to speak.
Right.
But you're welcome, Constance. Good luck to you. And it does take a village. It's supporting each other and helping each other out. Just Visiting says, I just sold a handbag on Facebook Marketplace. I sold it for 60% of my original asking price, and it was never used. So she had it, let's say at $10, and she eventually sold it at $6, because she had to keep coming down. So I don't know if there's a strategy with that, but I think that each little niche or market sort of is different. But thanks for sharing that. That was interesting. Yeah, and talk to other listers on there. Say, do you list a lot? Do you have any tips for me? Try and join like a Facebook group that is for Facebook Marketplace, posters or providers. I don't know what they call them.
eBay is another, you can do things on eBay and sell them.
Yeah, Constance, and talk to people in the chat, right?
Yep.
See? Yeah. Good for you, Constance. Thank you so much. And next is, I already said it. I'm trying to, here she is. Andrea Berkmeyer. She said that she is here. And, okay.
Look, too many cats is saying, yeah, that happens to me. I'll look at something in my inventory and wonder why it hasn't sold, and then it sells. I know, I do that all the time. It's very weird. I don't know if you're picking up on that they're about to sell or something, but anyway.
Yeah, I know. So Osmos Elf, is Osmos Elf still here? Please just say hello and let us know you're still here. So Andrea says, will my finances improve soon? So what I take from that is you're talking about a income and cash flow. So I think that, let me see. I see that you're doing, you're putting the effort and the attention, but I think that there may be some, what would you call that? Some vehicles or some techniques that you're maybe not taking advantage of. Like, let's just say out of random, let's just say you have a mortgage and you have a $2,000 mortgage every month. Well, if you pay you pay the $2,000 on the first of the month, and then on the 15th you pay another $1,000, and then on the first of the month you pay the other $1,000. So you're still only paying $2,000 a month, but you're paying it every 15 days. That will cut like 6 years off of your mortgage, and it can save you tens of thousands of dollars in interest because it just speeds it up. So and you could do that on credit cards. You could do that. Well, no, not credit cards because there's no. Well, yeah. I mean, there's like little techniques, little like tricks, and not really tricks, but techniques and philosophies, or chasing after those 0% credit cards, and saying, well, I already did that. We'll do it again. Like it's it's you keeping after it. So I do see that you're keeping after it. I do see that you're watching your cash flow. I do see that you're measuring things. I do feel as though there's some techniques that you may say, well, I don't, that's not money in my pocket, but you want to be able to save where you can, everywhere you can. Well, I only use, whatever. I, it's like, just because it doesn't put cash in your hand doesn't mean it's not purposeful in you earning or you improving your financial situation. It's energetic as well. And some of the best money managing mantras and techniques that I've heard is on Spirit Whisperer Mark under what is it? What was your manifestation? And he has a playlist, and I'm telling you, you listen to that, your energy will rise, and it'll be so much easier to manage and to attract all of those tips and tricks that will help to benefit your overall efforts there. How about you, Mark?
Yeah. First of all, Andrea, do you have a partner? I'm wondering about that. I kind of get partner energy in here. That I don't know. So let me know if you have a partner. But other than that, I kind of agree with Jean in that sometimes there's more money right around you. You just no, you're a widow. Okay, there's more money right around you, but you just haven't seen it or tapped into it. There's little things you need to do to just make extra money, and it's little bits. Yeah, I don't know why your partner came up in that. Well, of course, I think he'd be focused on you and be helping you from the other side and trying to guide you and make sure that you're okay. So that would be one reason he'd come through. But I feel like there might be some money right there that you haven't seen yet. What is that? Is it about Social Security or something like that? It feels like there's some more money around if you were creative. I don't know exactly. But like when I retired from work, and you start worrying, well, am I still going to have enough money, because I'm not going to have my full salary and everything. But there's other ways that all of a sudden you save money that you didn't think about. Like the amount of money I spend on gas is minuscule compared to what I used to spend, when I was working. So I just made it, there was a big bunch of extra money because I don't have to buy gas all the time. So there's other little things like that. It's something like that, I feel like. But that wasn't very specific. But I think, yeah, you'll figure out a little bit more money. You can get widow benefits. Oh, yeah, like that, just visiting. It might be something like that. I don't know how long he's been gone. But your Social Security might go up or something. They're doing so much wiggy things with Social Security. I don't even know these days. For some unknown miraculous reason, mine went up a lot. Thank you. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, universe. So I don't know. You might want to look into that because they're doing all this changing stuff. Yeah, he's been gone a long time. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I'm trying to find people who are still here. Cecilia Evans, if you're still here, just say hello. And if you're not in the chat, I'm not going to be able to choose your question because I'm trying to tell Osmos, Elf, and
they're here. They said hello. Osmos, Elf said hello.
Oh, good.
You were reading while it was happening.
Okay. So Osmos, Elf, and then after that is what was it? It's just you can only see one at a time, and then you scroll through, and then it jumps around.
I know
it's really not easy, you guys.
I know. I'm in the shotgun seat, so I'm like
I know. I know I just said somebody else and I can't find it. I think I may have just hit it off. But Osmos Elf is here and she says, will I move to New Zealand this year? Wow. Where do you live now? Are you in the States or are you in a different part of the world?
I feel like it's possible that you will. Does it look like Osmos Elf will move to New Zealand in a year?
Oh, they're currently in France.
All right. I think yes, but you have to work at it. There's like, focus on it. Don't just kind of leave it up to the cosmos, like really focus in on it. Choose it, focus on it. Then I think you can have it.
Yeah. I see some back and forth traveling there, setting up contacts. And I don't know what the immigration policy is or how you would get from there to here or from here to there. And but I do see you maybe taking a trip there one more time, and then maybe next year securing a place. Either that or you'll have friends that you'll be staying with while you're looking for a place. I don't see a permanent, stable location for you there until next year. But I do see a trip there this year. So the trip there, I don't know if you come back, like you lay some groundwork and then come back, or if you stay there with friends and you're still trying to find your way there. But it does look like you're going to get there. I'm not sure how permanent it is. I feel like it may be it may be a couple of years, but for some reason you're going to be pulled back. But if you could, you may want to schedule it so that when you travel there this year, it'll be winter in the northern hemisphere and you'll be going in the summer in the southern hemisphere, and then when you come back, the vice versa. But it is, I'm not sure. I think it's I'm sure it's a lovely place to live, but I'm not sure that it'll be enough for you. And I do see you coming back in a couple of years, so I don't see it's a permanent move, but I think it's a wonderful adventure and a beautiful expansion of your experiencing life and the diversity of culture. I think you'll really enjoy it. I feel like you're either a writer or a photographer, or you do something in the arts, you do something that is beneficial for the public, that you're in service. And but I think this is really interesting. And but whatever it is that makes you happy. How about you, Mark?
Well, it's a possibility, particularly if you focus on it and really make an effort. But there's also a possibility that something with family or like blood family or, a partner or something like that might change your mind about moving there. That's what I'm getting. So there might be something that comes up, not negative really, but that just makes you look at that and maybe change your mind about it. And the reason I'm saying that, so you get this 4 cups. It's like, it's a good idea. And you're thinking about it. It wouldn't be a bad idea, but you might end up reconsidering because of something not necessarily about you particularly, but about somebody you love or know. That's what I'm getting. Did you see that a lot of countries have opened themselves up to immigrants from America and made it easy if they want to immigrate to their country? Where they made it where you didn't have to go through a lot of stuff. You can just easily move there.
I did not.
Yeah, it was something like 18 or 19 countries or something that extended it to Americans. That you could.
What a beautiful opportunity. It's that silver lining that we never knew was possible. We'll all come together and there won't be any borders at all. We'll just be one, nation.
I think it could be anyway.
All right. Thank you very much, Osmos. And next is Denise. What's the first name? Denise, I just sent you a message. Denise Brosch, Brosch. Denise Brosch, if you're still here, please say hello. And then after Denise is Sarah Broyles. Denise Brosch and Sarah Broyles. You're welcome, Osmos. All the best to you, and please let us know. And you can put a message under any one of our videos, and we'll get it. And you'll say, "Remember when you told me I was?" And you can tell us, just so that we can share it with everybody. Okay, Sarah Broyles is here. Thank you, Sarah. And what about Denise Brosch? I'm going to go to Sarah. Aw. Sarah, thank you. And any messages from Pan about the silence of the whales? Can we land low KED light workers help?
Can we?
Oh. Have you heard about that, Mark?
Nope.
Yep. I heard somebody ask that on somebody else's channel. And it has been documented that the whales are no longer singing songs in certain parts of the world. I'm not sure where this is occurring, and they the landlocked light workers. Okay, thank you. But let's see. Do you want to check in with Pam and see? Yeah. But it is a phenomena, and they're saying because of, I don't know if it's stress or if it's just the global change. And I know that, Mark, you feel the frequency and vibration of the earth changing and moving underneath of us. And I think that the poles are also migrating. So there's a lot of changes going on. And they're not saying what's causing it. They're just saying, can the light workers help? Right.
Well, you can always help with anybody just by sending them love. That doesn't hurt anything. And, well wishes, that kind of thing. It feels like when I'm hearing, well, it is about earth changes. It's about actual earth changes. It feels like it's also about temperature in the ocean rising, and something's unsettled. It feels unsettled. It's almost like waiting for the shoe to drop in a weird way. It's like holding their breath, waiting for this event. So, guys have seen like lots of volcanoes going off all over the place, and they're just every day there's another one, and the earthquakes, and they're interrelated most of the time. But we don't really, there's a lot under the water going off too. So not just the ones that we see, but underwater, there's a lot of eruptions, heat, lava going into the water on certain places, and it's literally changing some of their routes. And it's almost like I would notify the pod, but I'm waiting for clarity almost, because they communicate with one another. They'll sound out, but they're usually communicating with, whales at a distance or something. And I hear Pan said that they'll communicate interspecies. So one kind of whale will still communicate with a different, it doesn't have to be the same kind of whale. I don't know. Like where they would normally get food, that's all changing. Like there's not big schools of fish or something. It's all weird under the water. They're discombobulated a little bit and seeking refuge. I hear a lot. Like, so all of a sudden it's really, really hot compared to what it used to be. And so they have to completely pick up and move. So there's a lot of moving locations and then having to reestablish a route, or now we need to figure out where do we go to get food. It's all weird and confusing. So I think that's partly what it is. They don't, when they get an answer or a clear direction, they'll sound it out to others. But right now it feels like we're waiting to see how things are going to settle or work their way out. It still feels like, I don't know, we'll see, but it still feels like that we haven't had that event yet. It's still building more and more, even though there's a lot of explosions and stuff. It hasn't really reached the pinnacle. And so it's still going on. But they're all confused. Yeah.
So Sarah says, I've heard it's the earth changes and human stresses. And then Hinda says, the video I saw did speak about the whales knowing that the earth is changing, but made it sound like it wasn't necessarily a negative sign. This is their natural habitat, and these things we can't superimpose human fears on the wildlife, because they do have an inner knowing, a sixth sense, so to speak. And then as Mark was speaking, I was also getting, how do we know that it didn't sort of change into just a telepathy or a vibration, and the sound wasn't necessary? Like maybe they are evolving so that they don't have to use sound, so to speak, and maybe it's just telepathy or intention. Like, how do we know they're not evolving? How do we, like you said, how do we know it's not something that's good? But I mean, it is unsettling that we have had this happen for thousands of years and then all of a sudden it's not happening. But we do know that there's so many different things going on in the Earth's frequency and vibration, and in the solar system, and in the universe. I mean, this is like this is, I think, bigger than us. And it's fascinating. But thank you for that question. And thank you, you guys. Everybody's chiming in saying, yes, they saw the video, watched, describe whales as a waiting mode. Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, that's just what I was feeling. And the animals go with the flow better than humans do. They just go to the next step. So they know that the Earth's making changes. They don't resist it. They move forward with it. And some won't make it through. Some of the animals won't, just like some of the people won't either. They won't make it through. This will be the way they leave. And some of the whales and some of the other animals will also leave. But they're just in the present moment doing the best they can, but they're just moving towards the ultimate outcome. So in that way, it's not negative because the ultimate outcome is positive. But there may be some loss of life during some of the changes. That's what I'm feeling.
I don't.
Animal and
So to tune into Pan, I think that may take some private sessions or some, deeper connection to Pan in order to maybe unearth all of the details. But MLR says, remember, they have to hide from submarines, and the sonar sounds must be unbearable from the submarines. I feel like they're changing. I feel like it's changing. It's just modifying because they're really great at adapting to their environment. Whales create new songs every year. Each species starts to sing new songs. Wow, Lori, I didn't know that. Back in 2007, the whales told me they would soon be seen where Missouri runs. Wow. And these are galactic beings, these whales. These are not native to Earth. I mean, we're all seated here. But just amazing. Such a thing could happen if certain Earth movements sink the lakes. Interesting.
And they just listen to the Mother Earth and they follow the guidance. And it might be quiet. I don't know if you noticed, but like in Yellowstone, and now that's acting up too. But before, the scientists, because they've been having lots and lots of little earthquakes and stuff, but the animals knew already, and they've moved out of the area. They just left the area.
Did you see they were all on the street, on the pavement? They were all. I thought that was so unusual.
Bison and elk and little, wolves just leaving the areas, birds leaving the area, because they'll sense the energy ahead of time. It's sort of, and since they're just tuned into that, we sense that too, but some of us are more used to listening than others, but it's that same energy. And so they'll take action on it. They'll move out of the area,
And they say that tsunami in Sri Lanka, that where tens of thousands of people died, that nobody noticed that the wildlife had left, and there wasn't any wildlife that passed. Well, not many, but
all of a sudden, no bird song or anything because they've flown the coop.
Yep, it got eerily silent, is what it was. Oh my gosh, yeah. But interesting questions, and thank you very much. And Denise says she is here. So thank you, Denise, for letting me know that you're here. And did I say somebody else? I didn't write it down. I don't think so. Okay, so Denise says, need messages from Spirit Team badly. I need to know anything. Oh, you know what, Denise, can you give us what this is in regards to? Is this in regards to finding a house, finding a job, finding a loved one? What is this in regards to? Sort of just like the general sort of overall, especially since you were so nice to tell me you were here. I'm sorry, I didn't read the whole question.
Right.
I didn't see. So I'm just going to pause that 1 second until I, hear back. Oh, listen to that. Is that the cicadas in your area?
We have them here in my area, and they've been singing again during the day, but I don't think you can hear them.
Okay. And is Shine the Light 1111 here?
Okay, so Denise wants to know about her dog, Labradoodle.
Oh, well, see? Yeah, we would have never gotten that. So we want you to be able to get the message that you're looking for, because it's just too broad and too general, and then it would waste both of our times. Aw. Yeah. Um, so I feel like you're being called. You're being called, Denise.
There's shine the light.
Pardon?
There's shine the light, just so you know. They always say hello right when you're reading, so
Okay. Thank you.
I'm afraid you won't
Thank
see
you.
it. Yeah.
So shine the light, you'll be next.
Okay.
Do you need to know Labradoodle's name or sister's name, Mark?
Yeah. That would help me.
Don't worry, Denise. You don't. There's nothing to be sorry for. It was I clicked on it. I didn't realize it didn't have the detail we needed. Um, so your dog, Labradoodle, is very much has all the confidence in the world in your ability to care for them and to know what to do. And since they have every confidence in you, they want you to put your mind at ease and know that you to have confidence in yourself, that you have this innate ability. You're not a dog mom for 15 years for nothing. You know, you can feel, you can sense, and he wants you to know that he trusts you. He trusts whatever it is that you feel and sense is needed for his care. He's saying that you are the one who he trusts, and he wants you to trust yourself. He wants you to put your mind at ease and not to worry about the decline. And I feel like you're doing things, you're making him food, you're mushing up a pumpkin, and you're putting soft things around him so that his bed is extra soft. You're helping him, like getting in and out of the car because he's moving a little slower. I don't know if you're even pushing somebody in a wagon or something instead of having them walk so far to get to the park so that they can walk. There's something about these little extra things that you are attending to, and you're wondering, is it enough? And they want you to trust yourself and to know that what you decide and when you decide is the right thing to do, because you're not only trusting your own knowledge, you're picking up on your intuition, and the intuition or the signals that you're picking up from Labradoodle dog. Um, he wants you to know that he's not worried, he's not concerned, he's not fretting over passing. He knows that life goes on and that this is a circle of life. He's not. There is no. He knows that he'll always be in touch with you. There's like this different type of an awareness. Your dog did not go through any kind of organized religion telling him that he's not who he is, and that that there's. I'm sorry. Oh gosh, I'm not going to go there. But your dog is saying. Your Labradoodle is making me laugh. He wants to raise your vibration. He doesn't want you to take things so seriously. He loves what you do. He loves you helping him and paying attention to him. He doesn't want you to worry. There is nothing to be devastated over because he's always going to be with you. Life goes on, and he wants you to remember the good times and the memories that you've cherished together. Perhaps making something that you two can remember together. Maybe go and get some pictures taken or something, or treating him to a fun day on the beach or wherever he really loves to go. But your Labradoodle is so much entrusted in your decision making, and he's saying trust yourself because you're being guided. I feel like you're psychic too there, Miss Denise. So sister's care. Let me just. I'm just going to stop there so that you can go in there, Mark.
Well, I hear that you're doing a good job. So don't think you're not. It's a lot to take care of others. Also remember, but that's part of what you're doing is you're providing the temperance, the balance in there. You're like the helper. But don't remember, is what Doggy was trying to say too, that you're not responsible for the dog being older or for your sister being sick. It's not, you didn't do it. You're here doing what you can do to help balance their situations as best you're able. But it's not their life and death isn't dependent on you. I'm going to say that. It's their own, you know, life and their own choices. When it's time for Puppy Dog to go, he will go. He says, you can't stop that kind of thing, and you're not responsible. You do great at what you do. We would both be worse off without you. So in a way, they want you to ease up on yourself a little bit. Give yourself a break. You know, you're one human. There's a lot to do, and you do the best you're able, period. And that's it. He wants, though, to say, this is kind of what he already said through her, but through Jean, not her. He would like for you to take some more time for you in it. Like, don't just always be for others. Take some time for you. You have to take care of yourself, and then in that way, you take better care of others, right? So if you just sacrifice everything for them, you end up being resentful, not feeling good, and unhealthy. So you got to take some time out for you, and not with guilt or anything. You deserve it. You're doing a good job. So I feel like there's not really much more you could do. Like, you're doing it already. The thing is that it's wearing on you a little bit. So be sure to kind of treat yourself well. You know, at least congratulate yourself on a job well done. It's not hard. It's not easy to take care of a sick sibling or pet either, you know, because, like, you know, you're feeling well, and you do what you can. But again, ultimately, you're not responsible, you know?
Yep.
You know, my sister's in the hospital right now. And so I have a little bit of guilt. Like, I should just be up there with her all the time. But the truth is, logically, I can't do that because she's out in another. And it, you know, if I felt like she was going to go tomorrow, well, I would go up there. But in some ways, you can only do what you can do. And you can't just sit around beating yourself up over things that just aren't you. You know what I mean? The person that's in the hospital, the person that's sick, that's their lesson, their thing. Your part is just being a support of it as best you can while they go through the thing they're going through.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's really important, Mark said, to make sure you take care of yourself so that, you know, you're better able to handle what's coming next, you know, whatever that may be. And yeah, it is very challenging and just heart-wrenching and frustrating, and you know, you feel pressure, but it's important to try and keep that balance and remember that balance. It'll help everybody involved. It will really help them. You think, oh, I can't make myself balanced or help myself to be calm. It won't help them. Yeah, it'll help them if you're calm more than if you are, you know, sort of having this emotional strife over it. They don't want to cause you that, you know. But the puppy was so funny. Is your puppy funny? Oh my gosh, he made me laugh so hard. And somebody said, well, dog equals God backwards. Here MLR said. Organized dog religion. You guys were I couldn't help myself. I hope I didn't offend anybody, but oh my
I
God,
laugh a lot when the dogs and cats are talking to me, because for one thing, they'll have a sense of humor, for one thing, but also they'll just be funny, or where I just go, okay, you're cracking me up, and I'll laugh, and I also have to say, don't take this wrong, I'm not really laughing at you or your problem. It's the dog is being hysterical and just being like a little jokester or something, and it's funny to see.
And to lighten the energy.
Yeah,
They really want you to lighten the energy. That's really so important there. And she says, thank you so much. I needed this so badly. You're welcome, Denise. Oh my gosh.
They think you're doing a better job than sometimes you think.
Yeah.
Both your sister
Yeah.
and your doggy.
Yeah, especially Trixie. Oh my gosh, she still wants to. She's just a beautiful bright light, a beautiful bright light, Miss Trixie. She made me so very. I laughed. Oh my gosh! And usually I don't break up like that, especially in the middle of connecting. So Shine the Light is here, and she would like a message from her mom Loretta, and I wanted to make sure she came in. And Shine the Light said that she is here. And Denise is saying yes, that Trixie is funny. so she wants you to keep it light. Just try and remember me breaking up and know that that's what she wants. She wants you to feel the love. All right. So shine the light. Message for Mom Loretta. Now we're switching a little bit of gears, but I wanted to make sure I got this in. I was pulled to this message here. Let me see if I can pull in Loretta. And they called her Lollipop. Good for her.
Hey, Loretta.
Lolly, like lollipop, Loretta.
Lollipop, lollipop. Lolly, lolly, lollipop. That's right. We're getting close to the end, guys.
Yeah. So she's riding in on this higher vibration that Mark and I, or that Trixie just raised for us. And she just wants you to know that she is safe and at peace and that she is with family members. She's keeping herself busy and watching over the family. And I feel like you have children or you have grandchildren that that Lolly or Loretta is watching over as well. She's very proud of her legacy and the matriarchal sort of establishment is what she's calling it, that she was able to keep the family together, keep the family peaceful, and despite disputes, that she was the peacemaker maker in the family, and she was able to help people to get along. And she wants to make sure that you too sort of pick up on these traits. And it's more than just being a mother. It's about, there's a diplomacy in life, and there is a balance and a tolerance that is important to understand with people when they're going through certain aspects or certain scenarios in their life, to sort of persevere when it's necessary, and to in intervene where necessary, and to hold that diplomatic type of, let's all get along and agree to disagree and be diplomatic and respect. I think your mother was very much about respect, and I think she was able to tolerate more. I don't know if somebody in her family was sort of spiteful or talked behind her back, and your mom was like cool as a cucumber, and you're like, you're going to let Aunt Sarah say that about you? And your mom was like, don't mind Aunt Sarah. She had Aunt Sarah's number. She knew what Aunt Sarah was all talk, all bark and no bite. But your mom was like this really calm, cool, and sort of keeping the peace kind of gal. And she wants you to know that that is more than just being a mother and disputing or settling disputes amongst your siblings. But she's saying you are also this way. You can see the big picture. You know that people are going to be high and people are going to be low. And you know to keep your balance and to keep that even sort of energy and opinions, not judging people on their worst day, to take in the entire context of who they are and why they are, and be a little more understanding and forgiving. And it takes all different areas of the spectrum in order to be this peacekeeper. So she's coming through quite. Oh, okay. So shining the light. Does that make sense, or am I picking up on somebody else's mama?
Yeah. Hmm,
She did say she was here.
I think so. Um,
Go ahead, Mark.
He's shining a light. Uh, well, first of all, and this it's not that unusual, but you know, she had a happy crossing. Happy, but it was a pleasant crossing, and she's on the other side, and she's happy to be there. Keep that balance in
Yep,
life.
she said, absolutely the peacemaker. I'm trying to keep that balance and learn what lessons in front of me. Good. I'm glad I picked up on that energy. Go ahead, Mark. I'm
Yep.
sorry.
She's also saying just because you change form and you move from physical to spiritual, um, doesn't mean service stops. So she's acting like she has things to do in heaven and she's doing them, like she's working. So I get the Three of Pentacles and Seven of Pentacles. It's like you still have stuff to do and you are busy up here. It's not like, okay, that was exciting. My cat just jumped up, tried to throw all the cards in the floor. So there's stuff to do up there. There's another little thing she seems to be talking about here. I'm going to ask you, is there a baby? Is somebody expecting a baby in the family that you know of? Might be extended family. She seems to be talking about someone coming, a new soul into the family. So I don't know if you're aware of somebody in the family that's pregnant, or maybe that's something that's coming. Um, but I'm getting these cards that are making me think that. If I showed you the cards, I don't know if you would think that, but I'm going to show you. So I get the moon. There's something going on behind the scenes. The Queen of Cups. Oh, there's a little surprise coming. Whoopie doop doop in this cup. I helped her, and it was beautiful. Yes, would be her great grandchild. Okay, so there is a baby coming. Okay, that gave me goosebumps. It makes me feel I'm not crazy. Because I'm like going, these cards don't really say that. Why do you keep saying it's a baby in my head? So they won't let me interpret them a different way. But then the final card of that was the generation card. And, it's like grandfather, father, children, and this child, great grandfather. So that would tell me she's aware of that. She's aware of that little soul. And, it's happy. It's good news. And I think that was a way for her to let you know she knows what's going on in the family, even though she's on the other side. So that, you know, now I also see other family members there with her and stuff like that, like Jean said. But she does want to get across to you that she's not idle up there. Like there, it's not boring. There's stuff to do. Like she says, I could see why you wouldn't just rush to reincarnate because there's stuff to do on this side that's different. And she's kind of enjoying that. But she says, even though I'm in another realm, I still am connected. That doesn't go. There's that, spiritual connection that she still has with the family. And she's well aware of what's going on there. Anyway, okay, honey.
Yep, life goes on, and how beautiful that you helped her transition. It's like the circle of life. Like you helped her transition, and now a great grandchild is born, and she's just really very proud. Very proud of the family, and you picking up on that important aspect of her contribution to the family, being that mediator. And I'm sure it wasn't always easy for her, especially when Aunt Sarah was spouting off and you're like, Mom, are you going to, I got her number. I could just see her saying, don't worry, don't worry. So Carolyn Cooper says, I love the mermaids on Mark's shirt. Is that what they are? Not mermaids, but mermaids?
They're little kitty cat mermaids,
But
like
would
catfish.
do you see that the play on words there, the
Yes,
mermaids?
I do. Very cute. Little mermaids. I like that actually. That's what they are like. Little mermaids. Aren't they
Yep.
cute? I mean, whoever came up with this shirt idea anyway, to do a bunch of cute kitty cats with tails on them, with, fishtail.
I know. I know. Yeah. Yeah. So that is going to be the show for today. And Mark is Mark was telling us at the top of the show that he's on with Allie. He does his Mondays. And what else do you have that you wanted to share with everybody? You're doing private readings, and
And
um,
normally I would be doing a show today at 4. I'm not exactly sure. I might not be able to do it because I got another message from my sister. So I'm not sure about my schedule. I might have to go to the other city and pick her up and stuff like that. So I don't know. Might not be able to do the show today. If that happens, I'm sorry. But I'll be back soon. I will make a quick little potential announcement. I'm going to be doing a live show, where I just focus on politics and current events. And I'm going to do it with my friend and mentor and Dwell Cool channel, Terry. She's going to come on, and we're going to do a live show just focused on that. And so most likely it's going to be a week from tomorrow. So next Sunday. So I'll just put that out there in the universe so you guys can think about it. Yeah.
that sounds so exciting. You guys are great together. I'd love to see another collab.
Yep.
And so Shining Light said, yes, her mother, she is very connected and was intuitive as well. Mm-hmm. And thank you very much for the beautiful messages from Mom. Her nickname fit her, Lollipop, always happy. Yeah,
I love that.
that's cute. Oh my gosh, I got the chills. She's reaffirming. Oh my gosh, she's really, yep, ready for life, ready to live life. Mm-hmm. And it's because we feel as though their presence dies here in this world, doesn't mean that their energy dies. It doesn't. It continues. And this is, I think, what Mom wants you to know. I'm continuing life in a different form here, and
Yep.
it's a different and new way. She's really phenomenal, really high. And I think that high vibration, like after all that laughter, she really wanted to ride in on that high vibration. Well, thank you very much for your questions. I will be on with Sherry from Voices from the Swamp later on today at 3:00. Please do head over to Sherry's channel. We're going to do it over there on her channel. It's Sherry Voices from the Swamp. I have the link in my posts. And tomorrow I'll be on with Allie, Heart and Soul Connected. I think it may be the first show that she may do a show today, but she just got back from
her trips. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So she'll be very well rested and ready to go. I'm looking forward to that. And then I also have Val K coming on tomorrow afternoon, and we're doing a show together. But thank you all. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You guys be sure and subscribe to Jean's channel if you haven't already, because she's always doing a lot of shows. She has, with a lot of different wonderful readers, and always got something happening. So it'd be a good one to subscribe to.
Oh, thank you, Mark. Thank you very much. And thank you again, everybody. We will see you again real soon. Take care, everybody.
Love you guys.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. Your support is greatly appreciated. If you enjoy this content, hit like, share, and subscribe. Remember to click the bell to be notified of future videos. Thanks again. Bye.